by group, then have iṣẹ́ àmúrelé tí a máa mú wá ní ọjọ́ Monday. Oríṣi méjì ni o. Class A ni pé class 1 by group 1, 2, 3, 4. Right colleagues sì submit. Part A ni. Part B ni pé iṣẹ́ àmúrelé for gbogbo ilé. Ṣé mo wà understood? He says, so we continue. We know what teamwork is. We know what is required for us to have a team that achieves its aims. So we talked about essence of teamwork. What do we need to have a good team? Effective communication, collaboration. Then when there are problems in our team, what can we do? The types of challenges we can face in the group. Then how to solve those problems. So now what we want to talk about is strategies to strengthen teamwork. How do we strengthen our team? At about 20 level, that the group will stay together as one to achieve our aim. As group members to ensure the group be 34 people or 4 and they achieve objective 1. What I love is achieve it. Oh yeah, so So I start by training on leadership. Training on leadership. I said it earlier on that we need to be trained. We're not like that. Anybody here, there will be a team leader somewhere else. But you must be as a leader. Don't buy any team. Most of my team members will trust us. Most of my communicate with our team members. Most of my collaborate with them. Not to achieve aim. And so this is one of the means of being trained on leadership and interpersonal skills, communication. Starting last week and completed yesterday. So we've been trained on interpersonal skills and we are being trained on teamwork now. So to strengthen our teamwork, can I continue please? To strengthen our teamwork, we need to build our capacity on leadership and interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills, we give him a sheba and engage me local. So we could see Jala. So like what I've said, you wash it by. Look at the machine, you see, they got definition, and that's what we're trying to achieve with this. Because we expect that after this training, when you go out, you could be a member of a farmer group, you could be a member of a farmer cooperative society, or a group anywhere, and they should be able to manage the group successfully. Establishing clear communication channels. We can't be in a team without communicating. We've said it over and over and over again. We need to establish clear communication channels among every team member. And as I said, talk about recognize that money in a group. Then, and you have to be able to díẹ̀ máa yọrọ ìfóònù ẹgbẹ́ yẹn because àwọn pé kí ni ọ̀n ṣe ní ẹgbẹ́ tí wọ́n tó yàn lè sọ̀rọ̀ tí yóò dá sí ìkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́. So we need to reward and recognize. Reward pé nínú tíìmù yìí o ẹ̀ tó ṣe dáadáa ẹkúṣẹ́ wọ́n ní pé kìíní kan ló mórí yá. So inú títù ló mórí yá ẹ̀ṣẹ́ sá. So it is very important to recognize ourselves, to reward us. Even kúṣẹ́ yẹn kan reward kan. It might not be monetary, it might just be appreciation is a kind of reward. Any area where to add on, once we can share, to feel more effort, much better than I did before. The way my circle and share, my honest. In our team, for us to have effective team building, use of ICT tools. But I see my joint TVET, of course, on the platform. Platform that is so what we can team. The platform you want to pay on my soul. Why would we platform? Why would they platform? We won't suit anybody. So for us to have an effective team, we don't compare about WhatsApp platform, I have emails, I think I can manage discussion because we will talk about the meeting. I meeting during WhatsApp. But still, we come and meeting at the team. So instead of meeting physically, you can say, okay, throughout the WhatsApp meeting la máa ṣe tó bá bàdé sọ ti ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe máa ṣe rè wọ́n ní pé rárá o bẹ́ẹ̀ nǹkan kàmú báyìí àdéhùn ọ̀gbìn sọ àmà agree lókè wọ́n ti wá fẹ́ ṣe ni tí o bá sí opportunity láti ṣe yẹn tí o wá parí bí tó bá kù lọlé láàdẹ̀ communicate àṣẹ anything 1 week 2 weeks 3 weeks ẹgbẹ́ ti túká nìyẹn because that communication is what binds us together àti check náírà ọgbẹ́ à ṣáláfíà ní òkìlì kan ìyẹn ló máa bind us together but tí àbá ti lè bára sọ̀rọ̀ there will be no team. Building trust through transparency and shared decision making. Kò sí nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe láì tí o bá sí trust. Kò lè ṣẹgbẹ́. Trust is very essential. Kí tíìmù wa kó lè so kí òkun yẹn kó lè so dọ̀yìn dáadáa. A gbọ́dọ̀ tó sọ̀rọ̀ pé tí tábà dáwó kakò fún treasurer olùlọ́fọ́ wa mú ṣe nǹkan mí lọ́tọ́ ní kóra ló máa rà tẹ́ bá kówó fún tó bá lọ fi mú tí ń kọ́ bọ́ọ̀sì lè lówó yìí máa bọ́ọ̀sì so that trust will build this over time in a group because ìjọba ṣe pàṣẹ wà mísìn àṣẹ mọ́ra ní but by the time 2 weeks 3 weeks 4 weeks 1 month láti jọ wà àmàdà àmọ́ pé ẹni báyìí lálẹ́ kó jẹ́ federal ẹni báyìí lè jẹ́ pẹ́sẹ̀ ẹni báyìí lè jẹ́ nǹkan báyìí so nínú tíìmì àti mẹ́ta lè mọ̀ pé òkè ìwọ ní kó lọ́ra nǹkan wá àti mọ̀ pé táwa kówó fún is problem but iye tó rà ló máa sọ tó bá yẹ kó dé ìwọ tó rà náà ló máa kó wá pé ìwọ tó ń rà rẹ̀ so we build trust and then transparency kì í pé wọ́n fún wọn ní 100 naira pé àdá 100 naira ẹ̀ 98 lákólẹ̀ àwọn 2 naira kan wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn kan táwọn yòókù òmò sí yẹn bẹ̀ lóhun kọ́tà máa ṣe àjẹmọ́ sọ́ọ̀nì ìgbà ìfẹ́ rìn ẹgbọ̀n dé àwọn ìgbà ṣe rìn nìyẹn kò ṣe pé àwọn kan wá lọ gádà lẹ́yìn pé ìgbọ́tọ̀ sọ láàrin àwọn òṣèbẹ̀ tí wọn táwọn gbọ́nà gbòmí ìlú ẹgbẹ́ máa túká bẹ́yìn and then the aim of the team will not be achieved. Team members should contribute to planning and decision-making processes. You can't say that. They should also follow established protocols and procedures. Then we are in a team to help one another. And if don't come to the team. Don't come effectively. Let's work together. Because aim a better and a bigger picture. So in one sentence, I just say the essence of teamwork is to achieve our shared goals with effective collaboration and communication. Collaboration and communication is by fair sort of because now we collaborate, we have to be a team. Now we communicate because we share what we are doing. We are something we but we now na do me and am happy. Experience very near. To ba do àwọn work, ma ṣe best ọ̀rẹ́ like room ba yin ko le ṣe sí lọ́la. That's my way. you don't do something to hurt your team member or your neighbor. And then you know what the person likes, you do what he likes. So that you want to work together to achieve your aim. Because I can make sure we I can produce 100 tons of maize. 100 tons of maize, then we go out for that shit. And one day I can be weed in sin. So yeah, if you weed the table, my focus on going to weed the table. See, but she reading. That way, kitchen or cooking kuno. Don't you ever have from so good only pay one year, the Bomiwa, at one in the Bomio. Then you can achieve the aim of 100 tons that I make it by. Because Kosomiloko, we is Boko, failure on the only. But I only pay on shape on, don't shit it. You are not shit it, don't not shit it. About your office, so in essence, I would like to tell us that teamwork in crop production training is very vital. That's why we're having this training. We are you are still going to do something, have something to do with one another. Because why the pay balancing class government back to one law. You know about the local government actually pàdé. Where I want to say group farm. Group farm, how do you go about managing that farm to the benefit of the government? As well as taking this training. Individuals can develop the skills and knowledge necessary to work effectively in a cultural team and contribute to successful crop production outcomes. Outcome one pay whatever produce. What they produce, the ultimate goal is increased income, improved livelihood. Family provide people needs essence of teamwork at the long run. No single farmer or crop production expert can achieve food security alone. Food security in Nigeria and say only pay achieve food security for Nigeria. Something like that. Once I pay 100 million farmers in Nigeria. So on the near income, to achieve food security. And leadership. That is why we need one another. Even in coming to this training, attending lectures, everything, we need teamwork. Multiple see groups in sin. Group, I need an assignment. If in your group you are 20, that's for assignment. The only assignment is in low active in the group. If you don't let one of my consider, don't let one of my submit. Meanwhile, I'm waiting to go. I'm not questions on building, but if you want to submit, they just catch it to themselves. But I'm meeting when you go group member. See, group I'm meeting like 2 over 10, group about 2 over 10. But so about 2020. One you're not 20, but the mark. Because they come and share, and no more. Not knowing that come and share, come and affect another way. Because whatever is so, based on your grouping, that you are going to be assessed. So as a group too, teamwork, on these assignments of any other communication, partly group 1, candidates. Another to be a question. Go say I want to work in front row, not down. Another way 4 group is back. The way was not number 4. Anybody come on then until down. Say number 5. We know they came back short by 1. Because Carlos saw group number 5. She was most of you. So teamwork, it is for the benefit of all of us. One mommy saw official and sort of because to buy so long, to buy that sort of official area no. So that's why we said if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Thank you very much. So, questions, comments? Other questions? Aja, don't want front seat. I don't want pass mic.
Thank you, ma'am. In this course, of teamwork. We really appreciate it. But let's talk from experience. Thank God, if you want to go fast, you can win. But go far is a wise word. But out of experience, in a situation that teamwork grew lately, you didn't see Yorùbá ni wọ́n fi sọ dúdú sínú dùfù jáde. You cannot understand each other from the start. That a lè bínú ara wa. But now, pẹ̀lú ẹ̀kọ́ tẹ́kọ́ wa yìí, èmi báyà their group work, but from my own experience ni mo fẹ́ jẹ́ ká kẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Ní odò ẹja tá a ní 2 years ago, mo ń sọ fáwọn kan níta. Odò ẹja yẹn tira wọn báyìí. Ó tira wọn, wọ́n gbé tira wọn lódò. Ó wá ń lọ bóyá bíi 16. So ẹni yẹn fi ṣe business. Nígbà tí olùkọ́ gbé wa fi rent, so àwa pọ̀, àwa máa ń pawọ́ pọ̀, à lọ kó oúnjẹ ẹja ìdín gangan láti supply oúnjẹ àti àbálòwò àti ra oúnjẹ individual. So ẹnìkan lè lọ, àwa máa kà power tó kù. Bet lóṣù kìíní oṣù kejì, tẹ̀wọ̀n pé group náà ni wọ́n kò ní sí problem. Tó bá tó wá ń di oṣù kẹta, sí kẹrin tẹ̀jà yẹn máa tó àwọn máa yọ pipe lábẹ́. Ẹ̀dá náà wọ́n wà. Wọ́n wà tó ní hidden agenda tó ṣe pé ìfúnni yóò máa yọ pipe. Àtàrí ṣe àtìyẹn ẹ̀kíní ẹ̀kíní ẹ̀kẹta. Táǹkọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kẹ́rin lẹ́ni kan nú wọn tó wá pẹ̀pẹ́ àtọ̀ àkàn máa ń àánú ẹ̀ ṣe mí. Báyìí. In that situation, ẹjọ́ kí ni èèyàn lè ṣe?
I'm not answering this question. I just want to ask something that is quite related. When we're talking about the strategies of strengthening teamwork, oftentimes we normally look at the rewards and recognition. And then in an highly heterogeneous side, you always see that there will be a kind of black sheep in the group. There is no way you cannot eradicate it. While we are talking about what do we call it, reward and recognition, how do we handle the black sheep? Shouldn't there be punishment as well that we have stipulated at the beginning of, at the outset, so that when we have hearing members, an hearing member know that he has a kind of punishment that is going to serve. I think it's always good we have that when we are looking at recognition as well.
Thank you very much. That's important too, because there's no how. We have different strengths. Some people can be good in this, other people good in another way. We are good in every aspect. So if you think about good, you're not going to share it. And so only a weed fast, you're going to weed it. And so only a plant fast, you're going to plant it. And so only a market fast, you're going to market it. Don't charisma for marketing, you're going to market it. So continue about more change as a team member. You don't want to shame that thing. Because everybody knows only achieve aim team. So we can't all be marketers, we can't all be processors, we can't all be producers. So I think that much education to help my team. Let me answer your question before. Trust. That's why I'm having some training like this. Now, but I have from team, one of the people that don't trust and I want to go back. Most of the time. And that's what they call group cohesion. Training now, just to bring people together. I'm calling people to share. If you want to support, if you want to training, group cohesion training, just encourage people to imagine our lesson, nobody wants to share things like that. But I see for our non, you'll be my hotel in the room. Because also that's our communication. So by communicating, it's with them. But as much as possible, teamwork. And that's why it's good to attend trainings like this and say, okay, you can form team on, okay, more, but don't deal. So by let's join, how will join? One for the shape, and then for the black sheep too. How okay, don't discover and don't judge. When they go on burning, if you have to tell and don't bash it back, don't bash it. So,
I want to ask a question based on the different people's desperation. Like now, if you give a group of people, maybe like 10 acres to plant maize or plant pepper, you know that some people will have time to monitor those things very well. Some will have their money to invest in those things. Some will have material things to. I think what does teamwork have to do with our input or our desperation? Like, take it for instance, if somebody has desperation about, I'm not about negative desperation. I mean imputing your home, you know, your mama's wrong. And as a farmer, if you have a discussion about planting pepper, maybe you have watched documentary, you have seen people who did the same kind of thing and their outcome. You have the ambition of getting achieving that thing. So for some people who have not watched the documentary, they didn't have an encounter with someone who have. So I think their own desperation. So will the same people who have the same reward? Would they share the same reward? That's where I'm asking my question.
The first essence of teamwork. Teamwork is coming together to achieve a shared goal. There must be a shared goal. See goal of our shared. So the goal is not the one team. They work together. You must have a shared goal. After you're sharing with Mogoba, I beg me down. I'm at the level of what I saw. And the government will go, I'm actually going to me. How do I see what please are distracting us, please. Distractions, please. And distract us.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir. I just want to answer our class about the impact that you just said the other time. There is a difference between teamwork and same work. You and those person that you said you are working together, you are doing the same work. You are not doing teamwork. If you know that you want to do the same work and teamwork, that means all of you will be going there together, to be packing money together. At the end of everything, to share the same amount of any gain that you have. But that one, the straight answer to that one is, if you know you want to do that, you can just leave that place and put another place. That one is same work, not teamwork. At the end of the teamwork, you must have the same goals. That's what they're telling us, sir.
I still want to add this too. There are 4 stages to teamwork. Number 1, forming. That's where we gather together and form ourselves. Number 2, storming. You see that stage is very, very important. Storming is like my job. I'm at 2 syllables. You cannot escape that stage. Because there's always black sheep in the team. I'm at 2 syllables. So we need to understand that when we are forming a team, we will quarrel, we will do some things together. Because don't we go, we're begging for that issue. So, that is forming stage. And the third stage, norming stage. Now, to help our storming stage, the norming will now help us. Norming yẹn ni wípé, okay, torí pé nǹkan tí lágbájá fẹ́, àmẹ̀dò fẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe rules. Tàbá ti sọ́kà fẹ́ lọ sóko 9 o'clock la fẹ́ lọ sóko yẹn tó bá ti dé láfta 500 naira ló máa sọ. That is numbing stage. It will help us. Sorry, sis. I'm sorry to be strict. I'm a kind of choleric person, but I'm just telling us it will help us to achieve a common goal when we are saying teamwork. So that's turning stage. At the numbing stage, it is very important. And the last stage is performing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. She's very, very right. She's very right. All she has said is what you have been saying in another form. Possibilization, problems will come, identify the problem, solve the problem, work together. Possible. Because we are not all perfect. Possibility are not shared. So one thing or the other, but the goal, the aim, is what everybody be looking at, that we must achieve this.
Yes, I thank my sister for all this nomenclature. That is exactly what I'm trying to draw. Whether we like it or not. In a group, it's easy when you have the farm and you have the workers. You can...
Even at that, you'll see a production.
Yes, you can easily punish. You are the one, you are the boss, the guy at the top. But in this kind of situation, even if you have a group leader, you have this there must be rules and regulations. That's the reality. So you should be prepared for that. We are doing your job now. When we get to the field, it will be war, start the field. Except we are ready to cooperate and do things accordingly.
Yeah, but in all to achieve the end.
Yes, but
we are fighting together.
Exactly. No, man, at times you have some individuals that their passion will be greater than the entire team. But because you find yourself in a team, you have to come down and operate at the same frequency. If you fail to operate at the same frequency, there will be distortion. So may God help us.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for this beautiful teaching. Please come down. These are going to know. When it comes to grouping or teamwork, I had a terrible experience when it comes to this aspect. Personally, I listed the land that Ido here was not early last year, whereby it was a collaboration of almost 8 people. As I am the group leader here, so also I was over there. And there a 2-acre, whereby we all come together to have this thing. Some say they will be supporting with money, the other one say they will be coming with idea. So one even volunteered himself to be stay in the farm. Now, I as a group leader, both the financial aspects, the mental work, everything, I participate. Now, this I'm going to, at early stage, just as everybody has been saying earlier, at the early stage is very, very sweet. Because we are human beings. There's a factor we cannot eradicate, human factor. We can start, but we cannot finish all together at the same time. Reason because there is this thing, I am myself, I'm a kind of person, I'm totally calm to the core. No matter what anybody wants to say, I will just be calm, please. I'm a kind of person, I will always give everybody a listen here to everything you want to say. But there's one thing about me, I will not all the time follow what you want to do. Not because of anything. I look at things left, right before I take a decision. Is it going to work this way? If it is, fine. And if it's not, I have to start it. Now, teamwork, we are here now. I'm grateful I came to meet this very particular topic, man. This doesn't come. Teamwork. Ma. 2 times 2 is 4. But when it comes to work, 2 times 2 can be a 2. Or it comes to it, in fact, it can be 1. Because they will tell you, Ori Ojori me. And that Ori Ojori is not in the beginning. It will come at the end of the production. That's when you see people who you've not even seen before. They will come in and tell you, I am in the group. And me, I'm not a disciplined person that I know how to be tasking people. As fine. I love to pity. I'm not that zealous to tell you. Please calm down, please. I am not that kind of a person, understand? But this thing is this. If I would like to add this to you, man, please, if you know how to teach or preach, whereby we will all knows how to follow. It's just like a mother hen calling on the chicks. You know, some chicks, when the mother hen is calling, some chicks still have something to pick behind. And these are the ones that by the eagle will come and pick. You understand? So please, if there is a word that can govern us together to the extent that we can love one another, to the extent we follow one another, that is the most difficult part here. You see, what we are all doing here from the beginning of our gathering here, me, I see it as kindergarten reaction or drama. We are just stay in the processing field or whatever. In fact, we are not in the processing yet. We are still fingerless of fishes. By the time we get to processing, before we get to big. So please, ma'am, if there are things you can add up to your teachings that at least when one or two wanted to misbehave, he or she can remember that this was what I was told. You understand? Because everything cannot be done by the group leader.
Everything cannot be done by the group leader. Well, recently I had an assignment. Recently. So from what he said now, recently I had an assignment that I had to lead a team. And people in the team, I've never seen them from anywhere, I don't know them. After they wonder, okay, you go do that. My parents, go and do the work. What do we do? I give you 10 days to submit an assignment. But in that group, I had to work with them. First thing, perform WhatsApp. We have class machine. What do we do? Let's start with this. You read. Group leader, share assignment now. I said, okay, assignment, no problem. But when people are trying to submit, they don't submit up to my expectation, I don't have to go back and do more work. So being a leader of a team, it is real business. And then I have to know how to make my team to come to be one. Because teams are watching the question. Group leader, Alpha, promise one, try and at the point I was like, I wouldn't say anything. At the point I would answer, like you said, calm down. So you have to know how to deal with them. And then people have different strengths. You think, I know I was Dr. Abba, please help me with this. Abba will do it. She was a lady. I will meet in the border. So you look at the team members and know what each person can deliver. I was on a simple point. It's not as if they don't have it. It's not as if they are educated. They are members of the team too. But I think we'll wait. Ability, I can go share. What am I saying? Ability, we use in a team. Study your team members and use the strength of each and every one. We are an equal strength. And then it is leadership. Leadership has a lot to play in teamwork. Because no matter what team here together, a member of the team just say something. Only I calm everybody. When I don't have an answer, I'll keep quiet. Last week I saw a point. If you can give a group, thank you, sir. What is up? We call them back. But then you are down by you. You guys calm down. So it depends. Just you work with the team as a team.
So, in addition to what Mommy just said, I think you have said some of what I wanted to mention. As a team leader, you have a lot of work to do. Because I have participated in different projects. If they make you as a team leader in any area, you need to strategize. You must have a partner. Because if you don't have a partner, you shouldn't have one on. And secondly, you must study the people in your group who go at the back or not. Then the aim and objective of what you want to do, you must list it, carry them along. Then there must be rule and regulation. And they will not even have time, but they have money to spend. They will tell you, don't worry, anything money. But that money will also help. That's why, as a group leader, you must strategize. Because some people, they will not participate. But at the end of the day...
But sir, excuse me, sir. But sir, do you know that even with money has a limit.
Wait, I know, when they come to the town paper, that everybody will come out and defend that project. If they give you a project, some people will send money. We will give them their own copy. But they will come out and defend each. I'm talking of town paper in academic settings. There is no way. That's why I said some people, they will not participate in that project, but you will give them, they will come and defend. That is where they will not know their weakness. But where I'm going now, as anybody as a team leader or group leader, you must have a partner so that share your people along, because at the end of the day, no matter how force it become, somebody will carry it. But at the end of the day, carry them along. You will know their weakness. You will know how to manage them. Because we are not saying, when it comes to the issue of feed, maybe you want to plant something, these are the process. This is the objective. This is where we are going. Because you have to target the result. If you are a group leader, team leader, at the end of the day, if you fail, everybody fail. So you must look at the end result. So that's why a group leader has a lot of work to do. Because you don't allow that project to fail. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are we all on the same page? Class work. Can we do it in 15 minutes? Individual, please. I need all your names. Please, Ben, your name and the answers to this. A paper is a paper. A call the answer. Sorry, the paper. Hey, roll it back. Hey, move it back. Hey, I got it. Open printer. Open the printer. If you don't have paper, just wait for the paper now. I bet you have a lot anyhow. If I'm going, see what better. If you need paper, please let me know. Once you go. Okay.
Teamwork is allowed.
I told you that it's paper. You didn't come for paper. There's one sheet, come and take. Are we all submitted? How many groups do we have? Group 1. Here is your assignment. The color. Yes. Group 1, come on, and then one of the group of the color. Group 1 assignment. Oh, sorry. No, why? It's here. We can write it now. You are here. It's here, sorry. It's here. I didn't put it on screen mode before. So, assignment for group 1, Akoleo. Group 1 members. Assignment is submit first thing on Monday, please. Who is the group lead? Actually, you have group lead. See, one group lead. Okay. So I'll ask him for the assignment on Monday. Group lead, sir. List of your members. Will you answer? Yes, cotton. Group 1, are you done right? Yes, ma'am. Group 2, please write. Who is your group leader? So group 2, thank you. Group 3, please. Group 3. Oh, well. Okay, sorry. Please. I don't repeat the question. So I'll go ahead to group 4. Group 4. What's the current and what's the code? Explaining. Who is the group leader? Who is the group leader? Please, who is group 4 leader? List and explain.
Excuse me, ma'am. Are we submitting as a group or we are submitting one? Is it individual one?
Group. If you are submitting as a group, for this question, the group has to answer it with the list of the names of the group members.
So we are only one person.
If they go and sit together and find answers to it. Write down the answers and give me the list of the group members. One submission for everybody's name. Am I clear? They are very simple. Hello? Who is disagreeing? So, are we okay with questions? Very okay. Can we call it a day? No, not call it a day, sorry. For the next class, please. I'm sorry, forgive me. I can't disperse you at 12:30, it's not possible. The day is still very young, yes now. You said? For this class, please, yes, for this class, not for the whole day. So, any observation, comments, questions? What you have to say? The floor is open.
My name is Adelokunwasi, aka President Adebran. aka President Adebran. In addition to what my governor has asked me about group, about teamwork, I believe that what is destroying our nation today is as a result of lack of teamwork within our leaders. Which I believe that we that are going to agriculture, maybe we should try to apply our forefathers' way of doing things back then. Maybe it will also help us, particularly those that are in rural areas, by making use of Ayela land shampoo. Yes, because by making use of Bible and code and Quran to make all these things around, it's like it is not working out. But if we're able to place ourselves on all those idols, I believe we will achieve more productivity than what we are achieving today.
Excuse me. Nigeria is a state with freedom of religion in Nigeria. So you can't force people to go traditional or Christian or Muslim. So we leave everybody to their idea. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, ma'am. Please, I want to say something concerning what Mr. Itara was saying. I've been in a farm, me and my colleagues, when we finish working. See, I'm sorry, I'm very sorry. My name is Sandy Abiola. So 4 of us, when we finish our work, 3 of us. What I'm saying is true life story. At Fidelity, Abuja local government, 3 of my colleagues went to a farm they don't know, and they blocked somebody's mate. Before 3 days, 3 of them died. So me, I supported what he said. So if you want to secure your fees, my brother, if anybody tell you Bible and Quran, it will not work. Yes. So if you want to secure your asset, know what we use to secure your farm. So my friend, 3 of them, till today, we lost them forever. So the rest in peace. So the owner of the farm, when we went to seek for help, the man is not around. But the first son that know about the island son gave them one of them water of the thing, and it's the only one that survived. So anything that you use to secure your asset, use it. That's my own opinion.
You have to be careful, remember. You have to be careful. That's what it is. Thank you very much.
Audience, please. Audience, please. Let's appreciate her. And that's all about teamwork in crop production. So let's do our assignment, and the teamwork has been given to us, and let's submit at the required time. So we are in the second session for the midday, and we'll continue with site selection. So Mr. Tobatele, you are welcome.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I would rather want us to look just at
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, sorry, there is a leak. I was thinking probably on test right immediately for necessity and some other things. Let's quickly look at chemical properties of types of soil as it affects our series crop. Chemical properties of type of soils as it affects cereals production. You remember that we have done the physical properties of soil, where we talk about what? The structure, the texture, the porosity of the soil, how it allows water to drain, how it allows, what do you call it, pore spaces, how it allows air to get into the soil, filtration too. You remember these are the physical properties, and we are relating it to each of the type of soil, the loam, the sand, and the what now? And the clay. I will find out that structurally, if the soils are of good property, there will be opportunity for every necessary thing that are there. The porosity, water will drain, it will absorb, the soil will absorb water, it will drain it freely, and plants too will be able to take them as much as possible. And that is why we are talking of sorting capacity yesterday. So also we are now going to look into the chemical properties as one of the abortive factors that affect soil, or that interplay in the soil for the benefit of our crops. Now, one of the things we are going to look at is, let's look at the physical chemical property of sand. Sand, by virtue of the nature, very light, granular, very fine granules, and light, and very loose. The advantage of that is that as being loose, it allows water to percolate easily, and there is also allowance for breeze to come in, but it does not retain fertility as much as other type of soil. Which of the soil that retains fertility most? Fertility most. Loamy soil retains fertility. But that is not to say that sandy soil is not also rich in its chemical properties. So all these things interwove. The only thing is that there will be no cohesion between the chemical properties, the elements that need to be broken, under the chemical reaction. There will be no cohesion as going to be in other type of soil. But at the same time, the anions and the cations of the properties in the soil do their exchange to break down the necessary elements and let the available nutrients, elemental nutrients of the soil to be available. Now, we are now looking at the effect on the crop. Because it's loose, it is so loose, the availability of other component nutrients may not be as much necessary. And that is where we are going to increase our effort in the soil management activities. And when we are talking of soil management activities, let me give you a typical example vis-a-vis our region. In the northern side, that from Nasarawa up, part of Abuja is still of same ecological something with southwest. But that's from Nasarawa, you have more of sandy and loose soil. And that is why you see that they use more of fertilizer in their soils there. They use cattle to rigmarole on their soil, and they use animal traction. The soil is wet, it does not retain fertility, and that is why they use more of chemical fertilizer or organic manure, and that is one of the things we are looking at. Now, if you know that your soil is sandy, despite all odds, you may likely spend more money on the soil nutrition. And depending on the crop you are growing, which we have said to ourselves yesterday, that cereals crops are shallow rooted and they absorb more nutrients faster. You remember we are talking of the most important elemental fertilizer for them, nitrogen and phosphorus. So they consume that mostly. Nitrogen is a highly mobile nutrient in the soil. So all those things are the things we are saying. You will spend more time and cost to improve your soil if it is majorly sandy soil. That is not to say that you will not be productive. The only thing is that the limiting factor is that you may not be able to hit your target in terms of yield. But you will know that even right from the onset, we are saying it yesterday that after 2-3 weeks of planting, you must be thinking of weeding. As much as you are weeding, you must be applying your fertilizer. So the fact is that on a sandy soil too, there might be lodging. Water percolation will be very fast, and if your environment is also of a sleepy gradient, there could be effect of erosion, running fast of erosion, and that's one of the reasons why nutrients will not even be able to stay long. So you have to do some other mechanical activities to retain or to balance up your gradient, so that there will be no lodging. I was telling you yesterday that if you are the wild wind in a slopy environment, you can see most of your crop lodging. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? These are the weather indices we are talking about. Under high velocity, there will be wild wind. And if your plant is not sturdy enough, very turgid on site, there could be falling apart, falling on one another. So that is one of the effects of chemical factors on sandy soil. Now when we now come to loamy soil, what are the chemical properties in loam soil? There is one particular thing that is more conversant with loam. Is that loam contains a balanced mixture of loam and sand, and that is why it's a bit finer, very fine, but it contains high quantity of organic material. Why? Because it's at the surface, periphery of the soil horizon. That is where most of the microbes are also dwelling. And in the process of doing that, they rotate the soil, drop their deficit into it, and improve. In the process of moving in and out, rotating the soil, they create pore spaces, that allows breeze in, that also allow percolation. By the time you now look at the deposit of all these activities, that is why the color of the loam soil seems blackish. And if we are going to the laboratory, as we go along in practical class, we are going to look at soil tests and see the quantum of elements that in each of these soil types we are talking about. So, loam soil has a little bit more finer and more, has more organic component that makes it more better, and more productive than any other type of soil. All these things, the activities of our microorganisms in the soil, they defecate, they rotate in the soil, they allow ease of oxygen, there will be oxidation, I think the other side, there will be exchange of cation and anion. All these things are also helping in the growth and development of our crops. And those are the type of chemical characters you find in loam soil that can be of benefit to plants. And in that way, if you are even lucky that you have more of loam in your farm site, definitely, like I told you the other time, there will be plant arrangement. If you are planting cassava today, intercrop with maize on a very beneficial area of loam, and you have another portion next to it that is a little bit granular, sandy, you may want to be doing shifting cultivation or rotational cropping, where you are now going to be at crops in order of their physiological and growth development and their beneficial factor of return back into the soil. Those are the type of things we are going to look. And the effect we are talking about, the chemical reaction in the soil also has a great effect, overall effect on the product. On the product, your farm, from your farm. Even you see the vegetative growth of stage of your plant, very luxuriant. By the time they conserve all these photosynthesis, through photosynthesis, you convert it into fruits and fruit production. You will see that you have a bumper and high yield crop. I hope you understand my explanation. Is there any question? Are we confused? So then we'll now go to the next type of soil, which is what now? Clay soil. By the virtue of the nature of clay soil, this is a type of soil that is very sticky and can bake even in the dry season or when there is no moisture enough. All those things that we are looking at, if you look at them, they have their certain components in there that are chemical. Silicate, hydroxide. They exchange water, in the process of water in the system, this thing will be oxidized and they will bring out their substances into the soil, and that will also add value to the soil. You will see that clay soil is always very reddish because it contains more of iron, ferrous oxide in each of these things. And iron is also good for plant development. And you can, I specifically told you about some crops that are associated with clay. And that because of the iron component of it, especially the Ethiopian cacao, the citrus, the cola, the clay contains more ferrous oxide. But at the same time, because of the nature of the particles of clay, it's always very sticky, very heavy. You can see them being heavy. There will be no spaces for them. So percolation is also very slow. And that is why immediately there is rainfall, you are in the clay soil, you are in the clay land, you will see them looking more murky. Then after some time, you can even see some piece of water layers on them. But with time, or probably you clean out, you see it. So there is little percolation, aeration. But as time goes on, those things will be given out. And in that course, I studied it in my memo. You have my lecture here. During the period of water supply or rainfall, the clay soil very sticky and bakey in the dry season. We allow quick penetration of the roots, and that will also aid in anchorage. And that is one of the effects of all these elemental things or chemical properties we are looking into in the soil. Because that period is the type of oxidation period of chemicals or elements that are in the soil. So there will be a sort of chemical reaction and activation, and there will be the water will be, the soil layers will be soft for the roots to penetrate. And as soon as they are going in, the deeper they have, the proper and stronger they have in the soil. And that is why you see them, you see crops or tree crops doing well, mostly on clay land. But shallow crops like maize will also do well, provided there is a minimal organic matter or fertilizer addition. Because as at the time the clay will be getting thicker and stronger, there will be root rot on the plant of maize. Because maize plant, I told you the way the silent pencils, they are very light and they can always hide and host plant to pests and diseases, which is also common, or which can also, thrive well in that condition of clay. So these are the type of things we are looking at. But as much as you continue in your production, you'll be coming across all these things we are saying, and because of your efficiency and your knowledge, you will know what to do as at when due. And that is why we are talking of pest management yesterday. And I said, remember I told you, I said, most of these things we are talking about, they are conscious, unconscious action that we come across and want to provide solution as at when we get there. You remember, you know, I always talk about site selection is a decision that is taken either consciously or unconsciously. At your site, so many things you are going to meet that you don't even plan for, but you have to take a decision as to get out of it, you know, of that particular issue. So that's, I want anybody to call me back if there is any concern. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
In this site selection, you mentioned that either consciously or unconsciously, by the time we are selecting our site, you might have meet any negative something here. Like the example that I want to lead on is that by the time we select our site to plan, we normally see some.
Sorry, that is, we are moving from one place to another to be looking at, meeting along with certain characteristics or features that are not equal. Maybe about 1 meter away from where you are standing, you can be the same place, nature, and the clay contains so many silicates, so many elements that are there. What you are looking at ant hill in an environment in your site, and you are looking at, you know, the deposit of, we see, I mentioned to you that all microbes that are in the soil have one role or the other they play. Among the microbes you are looking at is the hedgeworm, is the millipede, is the ant, is the termite. All of them do one thing or the other in their colony to add value to that soil. And that is one of the things we are looking at. All the deposits of the termite within the colony and the ant here also contains droppings from them. Let me see, even termites will be going in army form. They are going to go, they are always marching in team. They will say they have their queen, not even say it's a thing I know. Their queen and the king will be in the leading part of the ant hill. So, and they go out to provide food for them, and they go out to provide food and do every other. All those things, also residues they add together, is also organic. And these are the organic matters they add to the soil. So by the time you are planting your maize around the ant hills, the soil is fertile enough to sustain or even any crop. That's why we are saying that it is not that clay soil does not have its own nutrient value or fertility. The only thing is that, by the time you have enough water from the surface or you do your irrigation, it will become moldy. So the species or pulses are also limited in action as at the time those things are there. But as soon as there is drainage or there is weather change, every other thing will come. But they will still have what the plant can live on. And that is why we have said it, there is no land or soil that is nil. Yoruba will say the inku, the manshani. That is where we started the other time. So there is no land or soil that is nil. You only need to improve on them. And that is why we are looking at it. We are saying that as soon as you see your land that is efficient of one thing or the other, you now be looking at what is going to be your mode of improving on that land. And one of the things we do is probably addition of organic fertilizer or chemical fertilizer. Do you understand that? So that is one of those things. At the point in time where you are planting, they will grow, they will give you normal yield. But at the point in time in the dry season, you will see that that place will soon see, even grasses may not be able to grow there because they don't have the moisture upon which the plants will can live. That is one of those things. Any other question or query? Or
I want to ask that this stubborn grass,
yes,
what is the value that is adding to the soil? Then how can someone eradicate it? Yes,
no, I told you at the onset of this class, we said vegetation is one of the things you are going to look at when you are thinking of site selection. And what you are going to look, it doesn't mean that that land you are looking at does not have good vegetation or not. But your vegetation, the type of vegetation there will indicate or will tell you how you are going to manage the place. I told you by where you have so many grasses coming up, like the one you are talking about, there is every likelihood that that place may not be too fertile. Why? Because those grass absorb more nutrients from the soil faster even than the desired crop of yours. In the grass family, the Gramillae family, they are very, very extensive and very effective in soil. Even let us talk about weed generally. Weed are very, very aggressive, and that is why they are being seen as an enemy. If you look at it, where you are planting weeds and your desired crop, you find out that the weeds are growing faster, more aggressive than your desired crop, because they have the tendency to absorb the soil in competition with your desired crop. So as soon as you see that, what you are going to do is that you look at how you can weed that place up, either by chemical or by manual. Then you now come and plant your cover crops, leguminous crop, like cowpea, centrosema, Puraria, somebody is talking of cider aputa. Cider aputa is a grass, a bush grass, so your peanuts too, granules, they are soil returning crop, nutrient returning crop to the soil. So in that wise, you can, as soon as you have weeded up or uprooted up, then plant them with it. So they will cover the place. Cowpea is good, granite is good, centrosema is good, potato good, all cover crops. So they will smother away the weeds, especially the grass. At a point in time, just try to uproot them even to their roots. They have stolen roots that also move horizontally in the soil. So that is why they continue to multiply fast. So always just remove them, feed them more, probably find them somewhere at the back of the farm on them. Then cover your plant with the soil with cover crop. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. So we know that there are elements that are necessary for plant growth in the soil. So how do we know the chemical composition of the soil? Are there like equipment to find out that this is what is in the soil, so that we know which we are replacing, which is lacking, what to do about it?
That is why we are saying that one of the things that we always want you to do is to confirm your soil test. Your soil test will tell you the status of your soil. But primarily, there are major major elements that we look at, and that is macro elements and micro elements. NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium are the primary elements that an average soil must have for good survival. Then, other minor elements, macro, like the silicates, like the ferrous, magnesium, and every other one. These are minor elements, but they are also good in self-development of your plant. If you have done transversion of the plant system in botany, you will be seeing that all these things you are looking at in the internal tissue of your plant, they are associated by some elements, manganese, magnesium, and silicates, and every other magnesium. But for fruit development and vegetative development, stock development, NPK. Nitrogen is used for vegetative growth of the plant. The phosphorus is also good in the roots formation. Then the calcium, sturdiness of your stem, and every other thing. So, but what is important is that you are going to do your soil test. The soil test will tell you the state of whichever element that is lacking. Then you now go for the type of fertilizer. NPK 2626 or 2020. If you are looking, if you can get to urea, potassium, depending on whatever is limiting. That is why it is important that you do your soil test. Thank you.
What are the examples of plants that can thrive well on sand soil?
Plants that can thrive.
plants and try them on sandy soil.
Is it crops or grass? Crops. There's no crop that cannot do well in that sandy soil. You only need to improvise, add manure into them or fertilizer, chemical fertilizer. The only thing, I've told you why you are seeing them, we are looking at them as not being good. It's not that they don't good, they have their particles, they have their iron and every other thing. But because the population is high, so this thing will go down fast into the soil, beyond the root zone. So it's as good if you are not careful, you might be watching your chemicals or fertilizer if you are hardening. But what you can use mostly is organic manure. Organic manure has flesh, so it can stay long on the surface of your sand, and there and there will releasing nutrients into the soil layer gradually, and plants will be absorbing it. Yeah? But in the absence of this organic manure, if you are using chemical manure, use them timely. Yeah? As soon as you have seen rainfall, quickly, or you are lucky, as soon as you are applying rainfall, it will go down and the plants will absorb it. There is no crop that cannot grow on the sandy soil. It's only you that will need to do more soil management. You are okay, I'm happy for you. When are you to go on?
Sir, like you have said now that there is no plant that cannot grow well on sandy soil. But we talked about cocoa yesterday, and we mentioned that clay soil is better for cocoa. I've seen some places that they planted cocoa on sandy soil, and it's not long, it will not stay long. Like 7, 8, 9 years, you see that everything will die. It will dry up. So in that kind of situation, can we still say you can use sandy soil to plant cocoa?
Let us look at the soil geography.
Thank you, sir. Concerning that question, sir, my own experience on it is that, you know that I may mention something like that maybe last week or on Monday. My own experience on it is that cocoa, any sand, any land that we discover sand, deep down at the end of that sand, there must be rock or segmented rock. So that one used to affect cocoa, it can live more than 7 or 9 years to survive. So that is it. And then any tuber crop used to grow well in sandy area. Then
carrots does well in
sandy, any tuber crop used to grow well in sandy area. But this crop, they like playing.
Little more to what you have said. There are some geographical areas where we are looking at all these crops, they may not be able to thrive well. Why? Because one, the water availability, the rainfall duration there is not as more as we have in the southwest. And that is why in the north, right from Abuja, Kaduna, Nasarawa, going to south to the northwest and every other, they have more of sand. So all those places, and that is why you see that most of the crops that are coming down are their grains and roots, what do you call them now? Fruit roots, crops, like the carrots, like the Irish potato, like the sweet potato. You see, in the sandy soil, the root goes in easily. And I've said it too. In any loose soil, you see root development that is very fast and very intense. But the expansion of roots for fruit is always easy. Onions too can do well in, but moisture here, humidity here does not favor onion, and that is why you see that you cannot grow that kind of crop here much. But except where you have temperature a little bit high. So no doubt that these soils are associated with crop. But we don't say because of that, you will not crop. If anybody is from the north, you want to grow groundnut now, you grow groundnut does well too in the sandy soil. You do well. Because they are also nutrient, what is soil improving crop. They convert nutrient from the atmosphere, nitrogen from the atmosphere, and they, introduce it into the soil. So those are the type of things. But at the same time, if you go from, I think from Ede, Jigo, Ede, some areas there are sandy too. When you go into that place, you see people growing all this cocoa and oil palm and every other thing. What they do mostly is that all the grasses they cut, they mulch. And don't forget, we have said it, there are stories of these plants, deep drops fall on the ground and they form organic matter into the soil. So those are the type of opportunity that we can just have to increase our productivity in any of our soil. Anybody trying to? Now, let us look at each of these ecological factors on the field. When we say ecological factors on the field, as it affects our cereal, we have been told that our first crop here under this course is really. Sorry, we don't see it on the slide. It's being processed up here. I'm giving it to them. The class was going to be 2 to 3. I never knew they were going to enter before this time around. So maybe in the afternoon we just run through it. Now, we have spoken about ecology, environmental indices of weather that sustains us in our environment. And that is where we come across ecology. Who can tell me all those indices or mention 1 or 2 indices? Ecological indices that sustain us in our environment. Ecological indices that sustains us in our environment. Now, rainfall, sunshine, humidity, temperature. Because I didn't say weather. I was telling somebody yesterday that when we are talking of global and geo, we are talking of things that happen in the world, around the world, and it comes on the globe of the world. All weather indices that we are talking about are ecological. And ecological in the sense that if you move from one place to another, the region of that, you see variation in them. And that is why we are looking at it from the ecological point of view. At this ecological zone, what operates here? How much sun intensity do you have when you leave Ibadan to Okene or to Lokoja? The more inner you move to the northern side, the higher the temperature, because the base is open surface and the sun intensity is also there. You say what? Unlike when you are coming from southwest, the forest zone, I think you understand. When there is much rainfall here, the number of rain of month rain we have in the southwest is not as what we have in the northern or northwest. You remember, all these are ecological factors that we have all looked into. And these are the function of the accredited meteorological station. They are the weather data intakes, the weather forecaster. They give us records every day. They have every data collection. From there, they make forecasts about what is likely to happen. And most of their forecasts has always been coming, to reality. So all these are the ecological factors or values that we have that sustain our crop. So if you are not looking at a place where you are going to grow maize very well, or grains, let me see, either rice, either sorghum, either millet, they are still doing well here. But when you now look at millet and sorghum, they are more in the northwest or northeast, because the sand is more of loose and they have irrigation facilities and they have nitrogen, chemical fertilizer available to them as at when due. So they are able to do all those things and cultivate as much and we do, we don't do here. As the rainy season is coming, going out, here we are likely to be on rest. Whereas they are likely to start farming because they have a standard and go through irrigation system in the Baccalaureate, what we call it, lake and every other thing there. So all these are the things that ecology has to do with our desired crop. So when you are looking at the rainfall pattern, you are looking at the sunshine pattern, you are looking at the humidity, where are we in the ecological zone of. So these are the things that also affect and increase our yield in terms of growth and development of our crop. So those are the ecological. You are going to see more of this equipment in the station by the time we go on practical, and that will let you know. We were talking of all this one yesterday, ranging posts, theodolite, and the GPS. They will tell us, they will see it as they being used, and you'll be able to correlate what we have said here with what we are likely to see on the field. They want us to outline ecological requirement for each crop or cereal crop. Mostly one important thing is water, followed by sunshine, because it's a gravinar family crop. And soil. Basically, our soil is our motivator. It's the platform upon which we are working. And an average farmer will always want to improve on the soil. Do you believe that? If your soil is limited in nutrients, you have to improve. You have to spend more money as to get your organic manure there, deposit there, or you are going to buy fertilizer, depending on the type of fertilizer that is limited. Probably after you have collected you have done your soil sample test and every other thing. So all these cereal crop we are talking about, they are very associated with our ecological weather. We have average and moderate sun rise or sun indices, temperature. That will increase the temperature of the environment, and the sun loving. When you say the plant is a sun loving plant, that means it grows faster in the daylight. You accept that when you say crop is sun loving, you see it. Even most of our ornamentals, most of our tree crops, you get to the place now, you see all their leaves will be open, and that will take us to physiological studies in leaf. Somebody was talking of photosynthesis yesterday. Photosynthesis is a process by which food is produced. Carbon dioxide from water will give us CH02, then oxygen. Oxygen is what we absorb from the plant, and we give back carbon dioxide. They will convert it to carbohydrate. But there is a process that happens on the leaf, and that is why we are talking about stomata opening, stomata closing. Under high intensity, the stomata surface will be open, and some intensity the sun will enter into the base of the leaves, and there will be more manufacturing of carbohydrate. These are the things we are looking at. You are cutting the class into two. Do we allow you to serve your whatever first? So, sunshine is very, very important for the growth and development of our crop. The rainfall. When we are talking on site selection, we are talking about availability of water, either the stream along the boundary of your farm. Do you accept that?
For goodness sake, why the noise now? Why the noise? The person serving should move.
remember yesterday, one of our pastors said we should use the language for better understanding.
Thank you very much. That we have talked about that, but don't forget that as we are talking here, as we are interacting here, they are looking at us and watching us at that time. So we want to a little bit. I wouldn't mind to repeat what I said briefly in Yoruba, but let us do a formal approach first.
See reality. We really important from the onset. We understand the rara.
Check the water soil.
I think we start from the
onset.
Yes, I swear. What I want you to understand.
Please don't let us abuse the process. Please. It's required of all of us to be literate before coming to this training. Please. You have been asking questions in English. You are not telling us that you don't understand what they have been teaching you. No. No. I disagree with you. Don't let us abuse the process. Our facilitators have been trying their best to mix the languages for us. So don't let us abuse the process. Thank you all.
Don't worry, you will see that it's either your concentration is not here, no matter the case. By the time I move around here and there, I only try to call your attention. Some people are also sleeping. It's not them. What is what doing is what doing well. Please. So I've said that you didn't understand anything one have said. It will not be too good now in one. But at the same time, if you are saying we should mix with English, I mean Yoruba, I can always do that. I'm also a Yoruba. One thing or the other that as this course is going on in southwest here, it's also going on in the northwest, in the geopolitical and ecological area of this country. If we here are not being accepted up here, it will not be too good. Yeah? But I can come back to tell you or ask you which one did you not understand. But by now, you cannot boss. How that? Ṣé torí ẹ̀rọ ṣe jáde? À ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn àlùmọ́nì inú ilẹ̀ bó ṣe ní agbára láti jẹ́ kí nǹkan tí a gbìn kó ṣe dáradára. Àwọn á sọ pé àwọn nǹkan àlùmọ́nì kan wà táàdì fojú rí tí wọn kì í mí. Ní ẹ̀mí non-living and living matter of the soil. Àwọn lápẹ̀ ní edaphic and abiotic. Ṣẹ̀dọ̀ data. Now, àwọn tí wọ́n mí yẹn di non-living, àwọn ni elements, metals in the soil, like silicon, like iron, like magnets, and everything. And I told you pé wọ́n jẹ́ kékeré níwọ̀n nínú àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n wá ń lò. Micro. So àwọn tá a dẹ̀ ń lò gan jù tí àwọn kò lẹ́bi àwọn ni nitrogen, phosphorus àti potassium. Mo wá níṣẹ́ tí kọ̀ọ̀kan mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta tẹ̀ mọ́ yẹn ṣe ni pé nitrogen jẹ́ kí nǹkan tó bá tètè dàgbàsókè pàápàá ewé bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹwà ni mo tó wá dúdú wọn máa shine lórí wọn máa ọ̀nà tó sọ pé grow blood flow àti understand that. Then bí àwọn nǹkan eléso bí ata, bí ẹ̀wà, bí àgbà, bí nǹkan ọ̀pọ̀ yẹn, àwọn nǹkan tó máa ń jẹ́ kí èso wọn gbọ́mọ dáadáa nìyẹn. Wọ́n nínú rẹ̀ tó máa ń jẹ́ kó gbọ́mọ. Then potassium, ó máa ń jẹ́ kí stock wax hard. Tí kòkòrò fi nílé wọ́, tí kò fi nílé wọ́, tí ìjì kò nílé gbé, á increase turgidity wọn, ẹjọ́ dasá, òun ló máa. Gbogbo kí ní ẹ̀ á lè fojú rí, bẹ̀tì mọ́ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ kó wà ń bẹ̀. Tá a bá gbé sínú àwọ̀ tó tìkì ju tèmi yìí lọ tàbí tàbí yìí lọ à á lè rí microscope tàbí máa ń wo àwọn nǹkan tó rí tí ń tì sí tábà gbé jíkí láwù à á rí tàbá lọ sí àwọn yẹn bí tá a ti mú iṣẹ́ táwọn ìmọ̀ wọ̀nyẹn ń ṣe náà nìyẹn. Ẹ wá wo ipa wọn nínú tá à ń sọ ṣẹ́gun tó sọ bí tí àwọn element yẹn ti wúlò fún wa bí a bá ṣe wá bù wọ́n sí inú ilẹ̀ wa gbà tá a bá ti rí pé ilẹ̀ wa ò ní wọn tó òun ló máa jẹ́ kí nǹkan ọ̀gbìn wa ṣe dáradára. Nígbà tá a bá tún rí òjò tó tètè yọ sí wọn látẹ́kùn tí inú ilẹ̀ dẹ̀ tún tètè tó gbà wọ́n láyè tínú ilẹ̀ wa rọ̀ dáadáa jẹ́ káwọn gbogbo wa lè wọ ilẹ̀ dáadáa tí gbogbo wa bá dẹ̀ wọlé dáadáa ohun ọ̀gbìn wa jókòó dáadáa gbogbo àwọn rúùtù yẹn á dìde dáadáa àwọn nǹkan tó máa ń so tàbí tó máa ń gbọ́mọ nínú ilẹ̀ the root crop they will just become fatter wọ́n máa expand root development la máa ń pè yẹn issue thank you very much sweet potato irish potato so gbogbo àwọn nǹkan báyẹn ṣẹ́rí ẹ má bínú like we have said ara àwọn nǹkan tó mú wa wá náà ni pé àwa náà gbọ́ àgbọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ so that à ń sọ fún lánàá pé à ń pè yín ní àgbẹ̀ commercial àgbẹ̀ ìgbàlódé ni o èmi ò ní rí rí ìtànsì ká pé ẹgbẹ́jọ́ mẹ́ta máa ẹgbẹ́jọ́ mẹ́ta dájú o aládàá ńlá láti fi lápẹ̀ ìṣẹ́ ṣe kan ojúlá fún òyìn ẹ̀sọ́ ẹgbẹ́ kẹka rò pé bóyá ayé ìjẹ tàbí pé mi ò fẹ́kẹ́ ní ìsìn kankan lórí ẹ̀fẹ́ máa ń sọ pé ẹni tí kò bá yé ká lọ́wọ́ sókè so with that dájú ó tún lè rò pé bóyá àkọ́ tí mo sọ dáàdì wọ́n ti padà dé wọ́n jí ìdè wọn ò wálé ara lè dàbí. Okay, let me ask somebody to tell us proudly. It's an interactive class. Just anything you know about soil.
Okay. Okay. We thought that we have different classes of soil. We talked about loamy soil, the sandy soil, and then the clay soil. And then he also made mention of the silt soil too. So we talked about the loamy soil being able to absorb water and moisture content and be able to absorb nutrients. And then we talked about sandy soil. Like sandy soil is not able to hold moisture and nutrients that much. And then we also thought that the clay soil can absorb nutrients and then can also absorb water, but it has lumps and is always moldy. So it's not really suitable for farming. And then we were told about the chemical anions, cations in the soil, the nutrients that are present in the soil, and how they can help the growth of our crops.
Keep it up.
As a farmer who want to go into farming, the first thing we need to do is to examine on the farm that we need to do some land test so that we know the type of crops to plant on the land. So that's what I have.
I'm not going to call the broadcasting. Mommy, can you just tell us the she's just ready for the first time.
What do you guys want to do? You know who will have you out.
I understand the part of clay. You mentioned clay having iron and phosphorus, and you said there are some plants that dwell in clay, like yam, cocoa, tobacco. And you said the sandy soil, you can plant almost most plants on sandy soil, just need to maintain the soil's nutrients. So, that.
Prayer time? Yeah. Are we just? You know why I said that? The report I got from this brother tells me that you are not really attentive in this. Then we have our test, I mean. Yes. Let us attend our test.